Hello and welcome to Bryant's Fitness Systems. Thank you for clicking on the video. And this video is all about personal trainers or becoming a personal trainer and the pros, the cons and the pluses. I've been a personal trainer for 22 years in London, and I'm going to give you some top secrets and some top things to avoid. And I'm going to give you 8 things that we're going to talk about. Courses, gym fees, clients, what you need to charge, whether you need to do online training or not, and growing your business, branding your business, and being you, number 8. Okay, so let's talk about the courses first of all. So there's a multitude amount of courses out there, but the first thing you must do before you do any course, you've got to ask yourself the question, am I going to be in this job for the next 20 years? Like me, 22 years. Is this the job I really want to do for the rest of my life? Because you're going to have to pay £3,000 to £4,000 to £5,000 to do the course online or the course in a classroom with practical application of what you need to know. Now, I've studied with the YMCA, which was nearly a year's course, and then I studied with the Chek Institute, which was another 6-year course. Okay, so with the courses, the online courses where you're just doing online courses and studying is no good. It's a complete waste of time, because I spoke to gym owners and they said they're getting lots of new trainers coming through that have no practical experience and they're completely useless because they've done everything online, and online is not good for personal training because you're working one-to-one with a human being and you need to know how to palpate, how to touch and how to correct that client. So I would suggest that you think about how long you want to be in the industry for. Averagely, people last 3 months and they give up. Okay, the market is absolutely saturated with personal trainers, but many of the good trainers are still going and have got 20 years experience like me. But all the rubbish ones end up leaving and giving up because they realise it's super difficult, it's super hard. The job is quite easy, but the marketing and trying to sell yourself constantly, this is the hard bit. And trying to get new clients. Trying to get new clients is really, really difficult, which I'll talk about later on in the next bit. So whether to work in a gym that pays you or whether you pay them a rent. And in London, you can pay up to £1,000 a month rent in a gym. So if you do decide that you want to go down the route of getting a salary, the maximum salary you will get now is 12 grand. When I was doing it back in 2020, or the year 2000, sorry, I was getting 15 grand a year, which was a lot of money then. Now I look online, everywhere is 12 grand, which is not even enough to feed your dog. But if you're in a gym and you're paying a freelance rent, you could offset that against your tax. You have less stress because all the equipment's there. The clients are coming through the door, so you can try and land new clients constantly. So it's well worth being in a big gym where you pay a rent. But the only thing with that is that you'll have quiet times at different seasons. So Christmas is totally dead. Okay, everyone's away. People with money. Then when it comes to May, June, July and August, it'll be dead as well. But it'll be September when it picks up again. So you've got to remember these dead times to make sure that you put your money away, because you'll probably find that you might be earning 3 grand a month. Also, you'll go down to no grands a month and you still got to pay your rent, you still got to pay your bills. So it's really important that you put money aside so you can survive when it gets scarcity of clients or your clients go away. And make them pay a fee so they can stay on your books, okay? So you've got to make up your mind whether you want to be a freelancer or whether you want to work for a gym getting a salary. Now, the only thing with the gyms like Nuffield Health where you get a salary, they only pay you when you work with a client. They're not paying you for being there for 8 hours. So you've got to work your arse off. They're charging £45, £50, but you'll only get £10. So is that really fair? But it could be a good thing for you to do to get experience. So you've got to make up your own mind whether you want to do that model. But when you go into a gym as a freelancer, you show them your certificates and what you've studied, then you pay, they'll give you 3 months where you build up your client base, hopefully, and then you'll be paying a regular rent. And if you've got a good manager, when things get tight, they understand and try and help you because they don't want to lose you as a PT, hopefully. But because it's so saturated, the market, it's a bit ruthless, so you might end up getting kicked out. So you've got to be careful. Now, what are the types of clients you want to work with? This is really, really important. Now, I only want to work with millionaire clients. I don't want to work with anybody that's poor because I go so deep with lab testing and supplementation and other bits of kit they may have to buy. I don't want a client that's going to be saying to me, oh, I don't want to get that and I can't afford that and I can't do that. So then that really stops their progress. So they're really self-sabotaging you trying to help them. So I want to work with high-profile celebrity clients, which I've always worked with, and I'm just me. I don't stop myself swearing. I don't stop myself farting during the session and stuff. I'm just me, you know what I mean? And I found with celebrity and high-profile people, because everyone's all fucking treading carefully around them and watching what they're saying and all that bollocks, they know they're quite fake. So I try to be the genuine Scotty who I am, you know? And if the client doesn't like it, I get sacked, which I've never been sacked yet. So really looking at what type of client you want to work with. Do you want to work with clients in pain? Do you want to work with clients just for weight loss? Do you want to work with clients that are full of stress? Do you want to work with clients that have got diabetes? Do you want to work with clients that have got extreme obesity? So you've really got to look at that and find what your genre of client that you want to work with. But remember, if you only have one type of client that you want to work with, say if I said I only want to work with golfers and that's it, that closes down the market of the amount of clients that you can work with. And when you do this, it makes your business unsuccessful, unless you become really successful in just working with golfers. Does that make sense? So it's a small window, and not all golfers have got lots of money, so you've got to think about that as well. And not all golfers are educated in which to understand that Tiger Woods' deadlift is 185 kilo, and that crosses over into the drive that makes you hit the ball further. Does that make sense? So we talked about clients. Next we'll talk about fees. Fees are really, really important, okay? Now, back in 2000, once I qualified with the YMCA, I started charging £75 an hour because I had all the training experience of 25 years of working myself out. So I was looking in shape, people was coming towards me, and then I realised really early that people respect you the more that you charge. Does that make sense? And of course I had to cover the rent, I had to cover all my regular bills, and if I was £45 an hour, you can't pay fucking anything. Or you end up getting in debt, or you end up chasing yourself or getting stressed out because you're overworking yourself. No PT, in my opinion, can do more than 40 hours a week, one-to-one. And that very rarely happens. Most PTs are doing 20 hours a week because they've got to travel or they've got to get to the client. Not many clients, some clients are training in the morning, some clients are training in the evening. Very little amount of clients are there in the daytime. It'll just be retired people or people that are on holiday and stuff like that. So you've got to think about that as well. So with your fees, I prefer to do a block booking up front. So then that way I can look at my bank account and go, right, I've got all this money to cover for courses, PR, buying new books or doing extra stuff. Or just in case something happens that I've got this amount of money in the bank. So when you get that advance booking for 25 grand, which I've had, it's a great feeling. And then all you got to do is work the sessions off. Always make sure your client signs for their sessions. If you trust them and you're not going to get them to sign, what will happen is when they come to their end of their session, they'll go, they've got 5 more left. And you've got no way of proving that they haven't got 5 more left. So you have to do them sessions unless you say, I'm not doing it anymore. And then they can spread the bad word about you that you're not a good trainer even though you are and stuff like that. So make sure that you have a thing, that a docket that they sign or something on your iPhone that they sign, so they can see that they're using their sessions up, and it's their signature. Make sure that you have a contract. Now, I know a PT, he made a big mistake of not charging his clients up front. He would bill them at the end of 10 sessions. So then he had 5 clients, never paid him. He had to take them to court. That will cost him, in a small claims court, to take them to court. Does that make sense? And it's all the hassle of that. So by getting somebody to pay you up front for 12 weeks or whatever it is, then you know you've got the money in the bank, they're committed, you're committed, and you can get the result for them. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is online. Is online training any good? Now, I'm online everywhere. If you put in Active Bryant Systems and you put in Postural Personal Trainer London, I'm page 1. If you put in Metabolic Typing, I'm page 1. If you put in Chek Practitioner London, I'm page 1. If you put in Golf Fitness London, I'm page 1. Okay, so having an online business is fantastic. Okay, but it's hard work. One, you've got to get a good web guy. Most web guys know how to design a flashy website, but they don't know how to design it for SEO and to make sure you're the top of Google. And this is what I've specialised in, doing it on my own website. So I've got 100 pages on my website. Nearly all of them are page 1. I've got 100 blogs on my website. Nearly all of them are page 1. Okay? So when you start getting calls online from clients, oh, I saw your ad about back pain. Oh, I saw your ad about golf. Oh, I saw your ad about blah, blah, blah. Okay? So make sure that when having an online website, you've got to be page 1, 2 or 3. Nobody goes to 4, 5 or 6. And remember that 90% of personal trainers and other businesses that have a website do never make any money. On my website, you'll see I've got a little box that you can click on to talk to me instantly. My phone rings or it buzzes and I know I've got a new lead, so I get on it straight away. Okay? So if you get a lead in as well, email-wise, never sit on it. Get on it straight away. Hello, mate. How can I help you? When can we meet? Always ask, qualify your clients before you work with them. So ask them the question, what do you do for a living? What area do you live in? So if they live on a council estate and they work for McDonald's, you know that they can't really afford you, okay? Unless they wanted to see you once a month. You could do that if you want, but really you're proselytizing yourself and you won't really get that client results. But it's the money, so you got to weigh up your own core values on that, you know. So the next subject we're going to talk about is growing your business. Now, I do multiple things in personal training. I don't just do one trick pony type thing. So as you learn and as you start to educate yourself more and more, like 919 books, then you'll see that you can use other ways of making money. So I've got 1,000 products on Amazon that I sell to make money for my business. Then I've got my own book that you can buy, and if you buy the book, I'll talk to you for half an hour for free. If you buy my book and give me a review, it's called Holistic Health for Proper Geezers, Classy Ladies, Get the Body and Fitness You Want Now. And that's my 20 years of experience in there, so that'll help you a bit more with your business. So growing the business, you will have some people contact you if you're online like me and people can see you everywhere, saying, do you want to do franchising? Don't do it. It's a complete fucking con. You're paying them to market their business and you're doing all the donkey work. The same as you'll get people, supplement companies calling you about network marketing. You buy all these supplements and you're going to sell them to your client base. You can't sell them to your client base. They end up staying in the cupboard. You end up doing all the hard work of getting that company's name out there, but your company is not known. Does that make sense? So you've got Herbalife and you've got Purium. Stay away from them. Completely stay away from them. Purium has been found to cause cancer in people's body. So has Nutrilife or whatever it's called. So don't do that. Big, big mistake. Then another mistake a lot of people make is the they'll sign up to these websites like the NLP, National Register of Personal Trainers, or other websites. What they're doing, they're charging you to be on their platform. They may be page 1, but they've got 20 other trainers. And you're in rotation whether you get seen or not. So really you need to concentrate on getting your website page 1 for Battersea Personal Trainer or wherever you live. Does that make sense? Then that way you save £120. You could do that to start off with to see if you get any clients from it, but it's never worked for me, ever. But there's another flip side to it. If you join the NLPT and these other registers, this can give you better Google ranking and gives signals to Google that makes your page climb up higher. Does that make sense? But do you want to spend £150 doing that when you can do YouTube for free, Facebook for free, Twitter, you know, and TikTok and all that for free, and it doesn't cost you anything? That's what I do. Yeah? So the next thing is branding. Branding is important, not important. Most of my clients have never come to me because of my logo or the t-shirt I'm wearing or the business card that I've got, okay? But it's really important to try and make sure it's all the same. Try and make sure all your profiles, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, is all the same. So when somebody lands on it, oh, that's Scott Bryant. Does that make sense? Or that's Joe Blogs. And t-shirts, business cards are really, really important. Make sure that's individual. Make sure you can have a photo on it as well as having your qualification on there, or having a deal on there so they do get in contact with you, okay? The next big thing is just be you. People buy into you. People don't buy into your qualification. People don't buy into you being an arse, like James Smith is being an arse all the time, in my opinion. But they buy into you. They buy into your passion for your job. They buy into the result that you can get them. They buy into that you can have a laugh with them and make the session enjoyable. This is what's really important. This is what I see in gyms. Personal trainers are watching the client and not even correcting them, or not even having a conversation, not having a laugh with their client. So I want clients that I can have a laugh with, that I can have a joke with, and really make the session special for them, as well as for me, because I love my job. And I don't want to be working with somebody that's going to make the job really awkward. And you will find rich people or wealthy people that are going to be like that. You're going to find really heavy narcissists that want a PT. And a narcissist is all about you giving all your energy to them. So you've got to be careful of that as well. You may find, and I'm going a bit deeper now, energy vampires and stuff like that in the fitness industry, which will cause stress to you in the long run. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please buy my book, Holistic Health, Proper Geezers, Classy Ladies, Get the Body and Fitness You Want. Now, I will give you 20 minutes of my time if you've got some questions and that, and I will answer your questions. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Check out my website, Active Bryant Systems. Have a read of my blogs. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Peace out. Lots of love. Bye-bye.